So, good morning, everyone. We have to start from page 94. Music's A measure. Wailed the voice. Wailed the voices means the girls. You remember the girls were singing a song, right? So, what happened? They were asked to sing again, and now they were asked to sing in parts. And they could feel the song, and so their voices, they were almost on the verge of crying, because the song which they were singing was a lament. Somebody read. Who will read? Kanishka, please read.
Yes, ma'am. The willow trees outside the high, narrow windows waved in the wind. They had lost half their leaves. The tiny
Now,
ones that clung wriggled.
wait. Now, because it was the time of winter, so trees shed their leaves during this. Sorry, it was the time of autumn, so the trees shed their leaves during this season, right? So the willow trees, they are a type of a the tree, and they had lost their leaves. And what were they doing? The wind was blowing, and so they were waving in the wind. Continue. The tiny ones had that clung wriggled like fishes caught on the line. Caught on the line means there were some tiny leaves. Most of the leaves they had shed, and there were some leaves which were still there fixed to the branches, and they were moving and twisting. Wriggling means moving and twisting, right? So because the wind was blowing, and so they were moving on the branches. And then Miss Meadows again recollected the words which were uttered by, which were written by Basil in the letter. I am not a marrying man. These words in inverted commas means that she is, again, the words of Basil, they are being played in her mind over and over again. She is continuously thinking about the letter and the contents of the letter. Though she is physically present in the singing hall, but her mind is occupied and obsessed with the contents of the letter. Continue, Kanishka.
The voices were silent, the piano waited. Quite good, said Miss Meadows, but still in such a strange, stony tone that the younger girls began to feel positively frightened.
Yes,
But
but her
now,
tone was like very harsh, in a very harsh, strict, stony tone, without any kind of emotion in her voice. She was talking to the girls, and this frightened the girls further. Right? The first thing was the song. See, if you will sing a sad song, you will not feel happy about it. So the girls were singing. They had sung this song, and so they were also kind of about to cry and start wailing. So Miss Meadows said, quite good, but again, the way she said, it was expressionless. So the
but now
girls,
that
they
we know
started feeling frightened. The girls were quite young. They belonged to classes 4, 5, and 6. Which classes were they from? 4, 5, and 6. So they were quite young girls, right? Small children. So they started feeling frightened. Continue.
But now that we know it, we shall take it with expression.
Yes,
As
so
much
now she asked
expression,
them to sing with expressions. Earlier, what did she say? That you sing the song, take care of the music, but you are not supposed to sing it with expressions. Now she said that fine, you have sung properly, and so now you are going to sing with expressions.
as much expression as you can put into it. Think of the words, girls. Use your imaginations. Fast, too fast, cried Miss Meadows. That ought to break out a loud, strong fort, a lament. And then in the second line, winter drear. Make that drear sound as if a cold wind were blowing through it. Drear, said she so awfully that Mary Beasley on the music stool wriggled her spine.
Yes, so the way she was explaining, now she was explaining how they are supposed to sing it with expression. She said that ought to break out. That ought to break out means that ought to come out with force, right? Use your entire force and sing the song. A loud, strong forte, a lemon. So it should be, it is a lemon. So you have to feel the pain and then sing. This is what she is telling the Children, bring as much expression as you can put into the song, right? When they were singing without expression, then they became so sad. They were on the verge of crying. Now she's asking them to sing with expressions. And then in the second line, then she explains the second line, winter drear, make that drear sound as if cold wind were blowing through it. Drear, right? So she asked them to stress on the word drear. Said she so awfully that Mary Beasley on the music stool wriggled her spine. So Mary Beasley, because she was sitting on the platform, so she became very, very scared, right? Wriggled her spine means that she wriggled her spine, she twisted her spine in fear. She was kind of frightened. Then she talks about the third line, how they are supposed to sing the third line. Go ahead.
The third line should be a one crescendo. Fleetly music's gay measure. Breaking on the
What is
first
the
word of the
crescendo? Crescendo is like a gradual increase in the music, in the sound.
Breaking on the first word of the last line passes and then on the word away. You must begin to die, to fade, until the listening ear is nothing more than a faint whisper. You
So
can
she
slow
is
down.
talking about the phrases of the song, the words and the phrases of the song, and telling the girls how they are supposed to sing it. All these words which are written in italics, they are the words of the song. And she is explaining them how they are supposed to sing each and every line, each phrase.
You can slow down as much as you like, almost on the last line. Now, please.
Now
Again,
please means now you can start reading. Wait, Tanishka. Yasir, please read.
Uh, Again the two light taps, she lifted her arms again, fast too fast. And the
Then
idea of
she again tapped
settling down.
the stool, the music stool with her baton, and then she lifted her arms again, and then she started with the song. These are the lines of the song. Fast, too fast.
And the idea of settling down fills me with nothing but disgust. Disgust what he had written. That was as good as say their engagement was definitely broken off their engagement. People had been surprised enough that she had got engaged. The science mistress would not believe it at first, but nobody had been as surprised as she. She
Wait,
was 30.
wait. So the word disgust. Do you remember the word disgust? What happened? What happened to the word disgust in the letter? Who can tell me?
The word disgust was scratched out
Ma'am, it was
lightly and
trashed.
Be,
Yes, ma'am.
be
It
a
was
little
scribbled and
louder.
the word
It was
disgust
trashed
was
out like.
scratched out
Let
lightly
Avishi
and
answer.
regret about.
Come again, Avishi.
Ma'am, the word disgust was scratched out lightly and regret was.
Yes, regret was written on top of it. So this is something which like she was constantly thinking about. I told you that the word disgust was not erased properly. If Basil wanted that Miss Meadow should not read that word, he could have erased it properly. Right? That word could have been removed from there or scratched properly. But the word disgust was scratched lightly, and so it was very much visible to Miss Meadows. Now she started thinking about the word disgust. Disgust was what he had written. So this was something which was making her feel bad, right? So disgust. He wanted to say the word. He wanted to use the word disgust. That was as good as to say that their engagement was definitely broken off. Broken off. Their engagement. People had been surprised. So people had been surprised that she got engaged in the first place. Why? You will come to know the reason in the next paragraph. When she got engaged and this news was broken to everyone, they were very surprised. And the science mistress would not believe it at first, but nobody had been as surprised as she. So, but she was the one who was most surprised that maybe Basil proposed her. So, how will she break the news to everyone else of her engagement being broken off? This is what was worrying her. So what can you say? That she was not very much thinking about losing Basil, right? There is no element of love for Basil here. She didn't care about that. She was only worried about her social position. How will she tell everyone that now she's not getting married anymore? This is something which was making her feel more sad. Right? How will she tell the science mistress? These thoughts were coming to her head. Right? She was not interested to know whether Basil loved her or he didn't love her. No worries as far as this love thing was concerned. She was only worried about the social position and what will happen. How will she be mocked at? She will be ridiculed at by the people when they will come to know that now she is not getting married. Right? So these were the things about which she was worried. Yes, read. Read, yes.
She was 30, Basil was 25. It had
Yes,
been
so
a
this
miracle.
was the reason why it was shocking. When she got engaged, why it was like a shock for everyone. And Miss Meadows also, because she was 30 years old and Basil was 25. So it had been a miracle. And see, girls in those days were married by the time they reached 30. So she had kind of crossed her marriageable age also.
It had been a miracle, simply a miracle, to hear him say as they walked home from church that very dark night, you know, somehow or other I have got fond of you.
So
And
this
he
is
had
what
taken
Basil
hold.
said to her, that somehow I've got fond of you. Somehow I have started liking you. So now she's remembering how Basil proposed her. Right? She is thinking
and he,
about that moment. Continue.
and he had taken hold of the end of her ostrich feather boa, passes away from the listening ear.
Boa is a kind of a scarf, normally a decorative one. And
Repeat,
then she
repeat,
again
said,
comes back to the song, passes away from the listening ear. Right? These are
repeat,
the words
repeat,
of the song.
said Miss Meadows, more expression girls once more.
Okay. So
Fast,
then
far
she
too
asked the girls,
fast.
wait. Then she asked the girls to repeat the song. And this time put in more expressions into the song once more. This is what she is asking the girl.
The older girls were crimson. Some of the younger girls began.
Read. Let somebody else read.
The,
Stop. Yeah. Adiba, please read.
Fast are too fast. The older girls were crimson. Some of the
Crimson
younger ones
means deep
began.
red color, right? So because they were putting in so much force, so much energy, and then it was a sad song. They were using their entire strength to sing the song. So that is why what happened, they were small children and it was winters also. So they were almost red. Some of the younger girls began to cry. The younger ones, they almost started crying.
Big spots of rain blew against the windows, and one could hear the willows whispering, "Not that I do not love you,
So she felt
but
as
my
if the
darling."
willows were, wait, she felt as if the willows were also whispering the same thing. Not that I do not love you. These are the contents of the letter. If you remember, Basil mentioned this. Not that I do not love you, but I am not a marriage material. This is what he wrote. I'm not a marrying man. This is what he wrote in the letter. So these words again were being replayed in her mind. See, what the writer wants to say is that whatever you feel, I mean that if you are happy, then you will feel the entire environment to be happy. If you are sad, you will feel the entire environment to be sad. And because she was not happy at the present moment, she was so mentally occupied with the letter that she felt that even the willows, they were whispering the contents of the letter. Everything was sad to her. She made the girls also sad. So the younger ones, they were almost crying.
But my darling, if you love me, thought Miss Meadows, I don't mind how much it is.
Now
Love
this is
me as
important.
little.
These lines are important. I don't mind how much it is. But my darling, if you love me, thought Miss Meadows. So this is like she's trying to analyze the letter, the words which were mentioned by Basil in the letter. If you love me, I don't mind how much it is. She didn't care how much Basil loved her. Love me as little as you like. She said that love me as little as you like. Don't love me. I'm not concerned with it. I'm not worried about your love. But she knew he didn't love her. Right? Because she was very much aware of this fact that he didn't love her. Because if he would have loved her, not to have cared enough to scratch out that word disgust. Right? That word disgust was left there. This is what she felt, that the word disgust was left there so that she could read it. If I want to hide something from someone, if I want that the other person should not know about something, I will try to delete it properly. Which Basil didn't do. Right? So from this, she concluded that he didn't love her. Not to have cared enough to scratch out that word disgust, so that she couldn't read it. Yes, because his intention was that Miss Meadows should read it. This is what he actually felt about their marriage, about their getting married. So this made her feel bad. Read, read again.
But she knew he didn't love her, not to have scared enough to scratch out that word disgust, so that she couldn't read it. Soon, autumn yielded into winter dear. She could have to leave the school too. She could never face the science mistress or the girls. After it known, she would have to disappear somewhere. Passes away. The voices began to die, to fade, to whisper, to vanish.
Okay, wait. So this is what she was thinking. She was not worried that she is losing Basil. She was very much aware of this fact that there were no feelings for her in his heart. She didn't care anything about feelings, love, emotion, all these things. What she was worried about was, again, her image in the society. Right? This is what started coming into her head. That now, how will she face the science mistress? The girls, her students, will also mock at her. And then she might have to leave the job also and go somewhere else to escape from all this insult and humiliation which she would have to face. And then coming back to the song, passes away. Passes away are the words of the song. The voices began to die, to fade and whisper and to vanish. And then the voices of the girls, they began to fade, to whisper and then die. They have ended the song. Then what happens when she was occupied with these thoughts? This paragraph is important. I don't mind her, but my darling, if you love me. We will read now. Ananya, please read.
Suddenly the door opened. A little girl in blue walked fussily up the easel, hanging her
Fussily
head
means in a
right-
very irritated manner, right? Very annoyed and irritated because she must be searching for Miss Meadows here and there.
biting her lips and twisting the silver bangle on her red little wrist. She came up the steps and stood before Miss Meadows. Well, Monica, what is it?
So the name of the girl was Monica, the girl who came looking for Miss Meadows. Her name was Monica.
Oh, if you please, Miss Meadows, said the little girl, gasping. Miss Mott
Gasping because
wants
like she was running here and there in search of Miss Meadows. So now she finally found her. So she was gasping. She was like Breathing very fast, short of breath.
Miss Wyatt wants to see you in the mistress' room. Very well, said Miss Meadows, and she called to the girls, I shall put you on your honor to take quietly while I am away. But they
Talk
were
quiet.
too sub but they were too subdued to do anything else. Most of them were blowing their noses.
Okay.
The corridors.
Wait. Now, what happened? Oh, if you please. So she was there. Monica was there. She was a girl who came to the music room to tell Miss Meadows that Miss White wants to see you in the mistress's room. So now Miss Meadows had to go. So she said, and she called to the girls, I shall put you on your honor. Honor. To put somebody on his or her honor. What is the meaning of this? What is the meaning of this idiom? To put somebody on his honor. Who can tell me?
To give in charge.
Come again?
Want to maybe give in charge.
No, not to make someone in charge.
I'm giving the right to do something.
Now, this is what teachers they normally do, right? They tell that I trust you. I'm putting you on honor means to tell somebody that you are being trusted. I trust you that you will not make noise. I'll be back in a moment. These are the sentences which you must have heard. So to put somebody on one's honor means to trust somebody, to tell, to inform the person that you are being trusted by me. And so I am leaving, I am not supervising you, I am not checking you, so you better behave properly. This is putting somebody on his honor. Right? So I'm not going to check you, but you have to behave properly because I trust you. So making the other person know about this fact is to put somebody on honor. So because Miss Meadows was leaving, so she told the girls that I am putting you on honor. I am trusting you that you will be quiet. You will not make a lot of noise while I am away, while I am going and coming back. There will be no supervision, so you have to take care of yourself. But they were too subdued to do anything. Too subdued means they were too depressed. There was no energy left in the girls because they have been singing a sad song with expressions for such a long time. They were almost on the verge of crying. Most of them were blowing their noses, so it means that they almost had cried. So they didn't have any energy, any vigor to create ruckus in the classroom. That is the meaning of too subdued to do anything. Anushri, please read.
The corridors were silent and cold. They echoed to Miss Meadows' steps. The headmistress sat at her desk. For a moment,
Miss
she
White
did
was
not look
the
up.
headmistress.
She was as usual disentangling her eyeglasses, which had got caught in her lace tie. Sit down, Miss Meadows, she said very kindly, and then she picked up a pink envelope from the blotting pad. I sent for you just now because this telegram has come for you.
So
A
this was the
telegram
reason,
from
wait, this was the reason why Miss White called Miss Meadows. The corridors were silent and cold. Why silent and cold? Because Miss Meadows was not happy, so everything in the environment will appear the same to her. And the things which will be happy, she will make it sad. The girls were happy in the beginning of the story, and now they were crying. This transformation, this change was brought about by Miss Meadows. If you are happy, you'll spread happiness. If you are sad, you will spread sadness to your surroundings. So the headmistress sat at her desk for a moment. She did not look up. So she was busy doing something, so she didn't look up. And what was she doing? She was disentangling her eyeglasses. The eyeglasses, they were somehow fixed to the lace tie, and so she was trying to remove them, to free them, right? To separate the eyeglasses which were entangled with the lace tie. Sit down, Miss Meadows, she said very kindly. And then there was a letter for Miss Meadows. It was a pink envelope and from the floating pad. It was kept on the floating pad, and so she just lifted it and gave it to Miss Meadows. It was not a letter; it was rather a telegram. So telegram was sent in those days whenever there was something important. Normally, sad news was sent through telegram, right? Because they used to reach very fast. So she said that there is a telegram. The telegram meant that there is something urgent, right? Some emergency is there. Then only people used to send telegram. A telegram for me, Miss White. So she was shocked. Miss Meadows was shocked. She said, a telegram for me. Now see, the envelope is pink. The pink envelope normally means that there is some kind of not bad news, right? So some happy news is there inside the envelope. So pink envelope will be the symbol of happiness here, right? Symbol of joy. So a telegram for me, Miss White. Miss White said that there is a telegram for me. Who will send a telegram? So this, she was kind of surprised. Continue, Anushri.
Basil, he had committed suicide, decided Miss Meadows. Her hand
So
flew out.
she thought that I hope Basil has committed suicide. What happened to him now? Why is he sending a telegram? Who is sending me a telegram now? Right? She saw. So she thought that the news which will be there in this telegram will be that Basil committed suicide. So this is how we think when we are very much annoyed and sad about something, or we are upset with someone. May this person commit suicide. So this is what she thought. Had he committed suicide? Now what is the telegram for?
But Miss Piat held the telegram back a moment. I hope it's not bad news, she said, so more than kindly.
Her hand flew out means that she stretched her hand to take the telegram from Miss White, but Miss White held the telegram in her hand for a moment and she said that I hope that there is no bad news in this telegram. I told you mostly the bad news was sent through telegram. Right? Somebody met with an accident, somebody died, this happened, that might. So that is what Miss White said, that I hope that this doesn't carry any bad news. And Miss Meadows tore it open. So Miss Meadows took the telegram and then she opened it. What were the now? These are the contents of the telegram. Read.
Pay no attention to letter. Must have been mad. Bought hat stand today. Basil, she read. She couldn't take her eyes off the telegram. I do hope it's.
So these were the contents of the telegram. Pay no attention to the letter. Must have been mad. Bought hat stand today from Basil. So a telegram from Basil, and now he said that forget about the contents of the letter which I sent you. See, the letter caused so much problem, right? She became so sad because of the letter. It was because of the letter that the girls are crying. So, and now he had written that forget about the letter. I don't know in which mood I was. I must have gone crazy, and so, and I bought the hat stand today, right? Because earlier also he used to buy things and then he used to write letters to Miss Meadows and tell that today I bought this, bought that for our house, because they were about to get married and then they will live together. So he was kind of buying things for their house. So she couldn't take her eyes off the telegram. And when she read this, she couldn't believe it. Earlier, she couldn't believe the sad news, and now she couldn't believe the happy news also. What can you tell about Basil in this? What type of person he was?
Confused.
Pardon?
Now he is confused about his feelings.
Yes, he is kind of confused, a very fickle-minded kind of a person. Not able to decide anything. Earlier he said that I am not a marrying man. I love you, but I really don't want to marry you. I'm not sure whether I should. This idea of getting married makes me feel miserable. So these were the things which he wrote. And now he says that forget about the letter. I was kind of mad. I don't know what I was thinking. I'd gone crazy and now we are getting married. Right? So marriage is something very important. He's not even sure whether he should get married or not. Right? So he is kind of fickle-minded person. And then you can say that he is an insensitive person also. From the what happened earlier, like if you take the reference of the word disgust and regret, right? He didn't erase the word disgust properly. It was just scratched lightly. So this also tells us that he was not a very sensitive person. If he would have been so, and he had decided that he doesn't want to marry Miss Meadows, he could have written it in a proper manner, in a manner that she's not that upset, right? Try to make the blow as mild as possible. But he didn't do it. He wrote disgust, which was a very rude word. Then he scratched it slightly. It was still very much visible. And then on top of it, he wrote regret. So these things about Basil tell us that he was not a very sensitive person, right? And then he was fickle-minded also, not sure of what he wants. These are the two character traits which we come to know of Basil. What can you tell about Miss Meadows?
Ma'am, sensitive kind of a person.
A very sensitive and like a very impressionable kind of a lady she was. She influenced the people around her. See, there are people who are stoic, who have a lot of endurance. If you think of the story Salvatore, even if he was undergoing pain, he didn't emit those feelings which were inside her to his surroundings. He contained everything inside her. You remember? The character of Salvatore, if you compare the character of Salvatore and Miss Meadows, they are kind of opposite. If he was sad, if he was in pain, if he was suffering, he didn't let the people around him suffer. Yes or no? But Miss Meadows, because she was upset, she made everyone upset around her. Everyone who came in contact with her, she transmitted her sorrow to them. Okay, continue.
I do
Was
hope
reading.
it's nothing,
Yes, yes.
said Miss West, leaning forward. Oh no, thank you, Miss Blood, blushed Miss Meadows. It's nothing bad at all. It's, and she gave an apologetic little laugh. It's from my fiance saying that there was a pause.
And then
I
she
see.
didn't convey the entire contents of the letter to Miss White, right? She said it's just from my fiance. So Miss White, because it was a normal courtesy to ask that, I hope nothing is because it was a telegram. So she just asked, right? Trying to be courteous, she said that I hope everything is okay at your end and there is no bad news in the letter. So she said, Miss Meadows said that no, it's from my fiance. And saying that, she started smiling. There was a little laugh on her face because now she is happy. So that great transformation takes in her mood. As far as her mood is concerned, complete transformation. Yes, continue. And now this doesn't make Miss White very happy. And another pause because she's smiling. She got a telegram. She's smiling. Everything is okay. So then Miss Meadows, this line tells that Miss White is not very happy with her getting the telegram. You have 15 minutes more of your class, Miss Meadows, haven't you? So better go, rush. You can laugh, smile, and enjoy the good news later on. So she's kind of a very strict headmistress.
Yes, Miss Fiat. She got up. She half ran towards the door. Oh, just 1 minute, Miss Meadows, said Miss Fiat. I must say I don't approve of my teachers having telegrams sent to them in school hours, unless in case of very bad news, such as death, explained Miss Fiat, or a very serious accident or something to that effect. Good news, Miss Meadows, will always keep, you know. On the wings of hope, of love, of joy, Miss Meadows sped back to the music hall, up the
So
aisle.
this is what she warned Miss Wyatt warned Miss Meadows that good news can always wait. Right? I don't like my teachers getting telegrams which contain good news because that can wait. School is important, right? We cannot disturb the normal functioning of the school because of these telegrams carrying good news. So I don't like my teachers receiving telegrams unless it is something very serious like death or an accident or something to that effect. Something to that effect means that something related to this kind of sad news. Continue.
Page 32, Mary, she said. Page 32. And picking
So
up
now
the
what
yellow-
happened? You remember when she was going to Miss Wyatt's room, how she was feeling? The corridors seemed cold. She was in a sad mood. She was walking. And when she was coming back, on the wings of hope, of love, of joy, Miss Meadows sped back to the music room. Sped back means she rushed back to the music hall, up the aisle, up the steps, over the piano. And now the way she came to the class at the beginning of the chapter, and now the way she is walking. So our mind, the state of our mind is very important for us. This is what the writer wants to tell us. This is what the writer has highlighted. If you are happy, you will behave in that manner. And you will spread that happiness. If you are sad, you will behave differently. And then you will again emit that sadness to the surrounding and then make everyone sad.
And picking up the yellow chrysanthemum, she held it to her lips to hide her smile.
Now that chrysanthemum, you remember what happened to the chrysanthemum when Mary gave it to her in the beginning of the chapter. She kept it aside. Now, because she was in a happy mood, she picked up that flower. She held it to her lips to hide her smile because she was smiling now. So she just tried to hide her smile from the children. And so she brought the flower to her, near her lips. Then she turned to the girls, rapped with her baton. Page 32, girls, page 32. So now all of a sudden, you remember the song which was there on page 32? It was a happy song, which they had been singing. So from page 14, now she entered the class and asked the girls to start singing the song on page 32, which was a happy one because now there was no reason for her to be sad. Basil had apologized for what he wrote in the letter. Now they are getting married. Now she will not have to face any humiliation, any kind of insult in the society, and so she was happy now.
We come here today with
Somebody else read. Bhumi,
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, we come here today with flowers overladen, with baskets of fruit and ribbons to boot, to congratulate. Stop,
so
stop,
these are the
cried
words
Miss
of the
Meadows.
happy song.
This is awful. This is dreadful. And she beamed at the girls. What's the
She
matter
beamed
with
at
you
the
all?
girls means now
Think,
she was
girls.
smiling at the girls, right? She said because the girls are still in that mood, in the mood of a lament, right? Because till now they were singing a sad song, they were crying. So many events are happening in the life of Miss Meadows, but not in the life of those girls. So they were still in a depressed, sad mood. So they started singing the song, singing the happy song on page 32, the same mood. So she said, stop, stop. This is terrible. This is awful. What are you doing? How are you singing this song? This is dreadful. And she beamed at the girls. And now she, for the first time, smiled at the girls. Right? Beaming means is smiling. Right? A radiant smile was there on her face. What's the matter with you all? What's wrong with you all? Think, girls, think what you are singing. Pay attention to the words of the song. Read.
Use your imaginations with flowers overladen, baskets of fruit and ribbons to boot, and congratulate. Miss Meadows broke off. Don't look so doleful, girls. It ought to sound warm joyful,
Broke
and
off means
eager.
she stopped.
Congratulate once more.
Okay, continue.
Congratulate once more, quickly, all together. Now, then. And this
So
time,
now
Miss
she was,
Meadows'
now
voice
wait,
sounded all over the other voices.
continue.
And this time, Miss Meadows' voice sounded all over the other voices, full, deep, glowing with expression.
Yes. So now she is telling the girls, don't look so doleful, girls. Doleful means don't look so sad, girls. Why are you so sad? We are singing a happy song. Pay attention to the words of the song. It ought to sound warm, joyful, and eager, right? You need to sing it with energy, with happiness, because the words are like congratulate and all these words. These are happy words. Once more, quickly. So then she instructs the girls to sing once more, and now with happiness, all together. Now then, so then she instructs the girls to sing the song all over again. And this time, Miss Meadows' voice sounded over all the other voices. And this time, the volume of her voice, the highest. Right? She herself started singing the song with a lot of energy. Her sound sounded above all the rest of the voices in the class. Full, deep, flowing with expression, because now she was happy. So with this, we come to the end of this story.